Hello, everybody, and welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. Yes, we are all wearing black. We're all wearing chains except for Sabrina. Silent. We gotta move it like that. Hi, everybody, how you doing? My name is Isaiah. And it's time to do Big Brother coverage again. Yes, it is time for Big Brother 24. It started recently. We're a couple days late, but that's okay because this is going to be an interesting draft. We get to actually talk about our observations. We're 3 days in. We have an amazing panel. So. Before we get into everything cast-wise, we can talk about the panel a little bit, real quick. As usual, returning from Big Brother Canada and all her other ventures, we have Real Slim Katie. Katie, how are you? What's going on?
I want to say I'm good. I want to say I'm happy the Big Brother season is here, but we do this to ourselves every summer, and we'll get into it. But I'm excited to talk about it. Let's just say that. But I'm happy to be here with you all.
Just to let everyone know, Lance and Josie are returning. They're just unavailable tonight, but they will be back with me and Katie every week to talk about Big Brother. So that should be a fun one. Next, we have for the first time, Josh Calhoun, the first original debut for Josh as a silent podcaster. Josh, how are you doing?
I am so excited. I love silent podcasts. So I'm just really thrilled to be here and be part of the team. And I wish I could say I'm excited for this cast. I'm excited to draft. I love a draft. Kind of share the same sentiments as Katie's. And like she said, we'll get into it. So.
Okay, and we're also bringing my co-host of the Total Drama podcast. She's also a part of Saturday Morning Roundup. Sabrina, this is your first time on the Big Brother podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, it is. You called me an hour before this, and here I am.
Well, thank you for showing up, Sabrina.
Of course, I'm obviously excited like everybody else. I'm excited with this crew. It's going to be really, really good. And I'm hoping to get a particular person in my draft that is the only person I've not had on any of my drafts yet. So I better get them. But beyond that, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it and to hang out with you guys. Yeah.
All right. Now, like usual, before we get started, if you haven't already, please check out all of our silent podcast coverage over on our audio platforms like Spotify, Apple Music. If you enjoy what you hear today or enjoy what you hear later, rate it only if it's 5 stars. If it's not, just wait until you find something that you do like and then rate it. Outside of that, please, you can follow us on Twitter, silent_podcast, as well as anything else that we have linked in our link tree that's in the description and all that fun stuff. I say we get started. So everybody, how are we feeling about this season so far? We're 3 days in. We have a lot of facial expressions. Katie, how are you feeling about the season so far?
So I said this right before we went live, but is this the fastest that we've ever been out on a season? It's day 3. We don't even have noms yet. And I think the collective fandom is ready to quit. Is this the fastest we've been out? I don't know. We're watching it, we're covering it. We're going to stick with it. But do I want to stick with it? I don't really know. We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah. Literally no matter how much shit we talk, we are still watching. And still complaining and still watching, no matter what.
It's a summer tradition.
Exactly. It's it's hard not to. There's no way I wouldn't. I think the only season I stopped watching was the last All-Stars we had, honestly. That was where I was done.
Understandable.
Yeah.
That's a good reason. Yes. Were you here longer, Josh, during Big Brother 19, or are you out in the season already?
Because we go through this every season where we watch and then we get tired of it, and we're already tired of it. And so right now I'm watching this out of pure obligation. It's the first week. The first week usually the most exciting. The fandom's back. My Twitter looks like it usually looks for 3 months. So that's exciting, but it's disappointing. And they get away with this every year because they can. Because we keep saying this, we're going to come back and watch again next year. So at this point, watching her obligation, we'll see how far I actually make it. But I'm in it for now.
Okay.
I think what the thing is that this season, we're coming off of 2 really good seasons. Big Brother 23 was great. Well, Big Brother Canada 9 was great. Big Brother 23 was great. Big Brother Canada 10 was great. So I I immediately felt like we were going to be let down by the season because there's just no way it could uphold, like, just even whether or not you're happy with who won those seasons or not. Like, they entertained us and they gave us great casts. And then when we saw this cast, we didn't get a preseason. We saw this cast the day before, then things got switched up, and it just felt like we were back to normal Big Brother. Our peaceful era was over. Our fun era is over. Now we're just back to hating it all.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I just remember, like, not even a week ago, we were all, like, so freaking excited for this cast. And then as soon as they debuted, like, that 30-second video, and after I watched it, I was just like...
It's a cast.
All right.
They're on the show.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm hoping we get some more momentum with the next HOH, but looking at the house structure, I don't know how realistic that is. I mean, we'll get into all that when we get to the actual players. Fun fact. I'm glad we started just now because Joseph in the comments actually just said the noms are official, but he will not say who. So we started perfectly. We have no idea who the nominations are, so that's beautiful. But without further ado, I mean, I think we should just get started. We have a whole lot of people to talk about here, so I'm going to get this tier list.
I do know who the noms are.
I also know who the noms
are. All right,
are.
well, look, everybody but me knows who the noms are.
I had the honor. I'm like, wait. I'm like, I definitely know who's nominated.
I just looked.
Well, go ahead. I mean, you guys can talk about the nominations real quick while I'm setting this up. Go for it. Go for it. What's up? Who's losing though?
They make sense from what we saw. You know, Michael didn't talk a lot of game at all, and that was definitely part of his strategy, but it didn't make sense with this cast in particular. And then Terrence just kind of seems lonely in there. Yeah, like, the only clips I've seen, like, I don't know. I feel for the guy.
Me too.
It's literally always, like, the older people get nominated.
I know. It's so frustrating.
I freaking hate it. It pisses me off. So, like, I'm not surprised by it. Like, and I don't really understand Michael's strategy of, like, laying low, like, that low. Like, he was, like, almost out of, like, every, like, conversation. Like, it'd be different if you had, like, a couple, like, really close, like, side ones. Like, that makes sense. But, like, to be just, like, in the corner all the time, like, I don't know. It was kind of weird, especially week one and with the HOH, too.
Right.
No.
All right. Just so just for full transparency, just so no one thinks I'm like rigging or trying to do some funny stuff. We have the randomizer here. I'm going to price it 4 times since there's 4 people, and that will determine our draft order.
Cool.
So 1.
I will be number 1.
2. 3.
Let's find out.
4. All right. So it's Katie, Sabrina, Josh, then myself.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Yes.
But we will be snaking. So there you go. But all right. So we have a whole lot of people. Katie, you'll be number 1. Sabrina is number 2.
Yes.
Josh, and then myself. Just like last time, but you know what? That's okay. Our current winner from last draft is Josanne. She's not here. So that's the only reason we retweet. We randomize it. Next time Josie's here, she gets to start the draft. But anyway, do we want to be at the bottom of the screen? No, we don't. We want to be at the side. Okay, so Katie, there's a whole lot of people. I don't know if you. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you need me to put the chart of people, but real quick.
No, I have it up on my screen.
So who is Katie's first official pick for the Silent Podcast draft?
Okay, so I'm looking at the CBS website right now, and I'm like, which one of these people is speaking to me? Not many of them are. I'm being completely honest. You guys know how I feel. I'm taking Amira first. I think she has a really good mindset for the game. I think she's already insulated really well. I think, depending on how the structure pans out here, right now we have a few alliances. She's in a couple of them. She's in the All Women's Alliance. Not all of the women are in the All Women's Alliance, but she is in an alliance made up of all women, just not all of the women. And she's also in this, like, new version of level 6, which I don't know why they're calling it a new level 6. It's just a 6-person alliance. I don't know why we're emulating it after level 6. It's a little weird. But she's insulated pretty well. She has a good relationship with Daniel. She has a good relationship with most of the girls. She seems to get along really well with Monty and a few others that seem like they might be power players in the house moving forward. So I think she's going to be an asset. She started talking game really early on with Daniel. Not really, really early, but she was the first one to go up to the HOH room and talk game with Daniel. So I have a feeling she's going to make a run for it. I don't know if she can win the whole thing, but I have a feeling she's at least going to make it pretty far.
Yeah.
I think from what I've been seeing, Amira's definitely been in the right place at the right times. She's been able to be a part of the rooms when people are making deals. I think that's a huge beneficiary. I don't know how much of that is her own doing, but I mean, she took advantage of her positioning. I like her. I think that she's likable enough that people want to stick around her. I just worry if she has that X factor to really turn it on and be a little cutthroat here. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, if you're going by recent Big Brother, you don't necessarily even need to be cutthroat. This isn't Big Brother Canada, so she might be fine. Josh, how you feel about Amira?
I feel like she's like the lesser of the evils in that group. Like if you had to pick someone to root for, it would be her. She's not as chaotic. And yeah, I think that's really it. Not much about her. So, good choice. Good pick.
I think the thing about Amira is that I want to see her. It's unfortunate, right? Because I feel like what we're not necessarily saying right now, but I'm sure we'll say it when we get to Taylor, is that there's just unfortunate situations going on in the house already. And unfortunately, Amira is part of that. And I feel like without that happening, we could really root for Amira, but that's really sullying her for a lot of us right now. But I do think she has a good game sense. I think, to your point, Isaiah, she can be a little bit cutthroat. She was in the HOH room. She was already, unfortunately, trying to throw Taylor under the bus to Daniel. She's been throwing names out. She's playing. So let's see if that digs her a grave or if that brings her forward. We'll see. It's hard to say with this cast so far. Not a ton of game talk, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, I literally agree with everybody. Like, I wasn't sure what to think of her coming into the game. Like, I wasn't sure if she would even be, like, any kind of threat. But at this point, like, I think she is definitely one of the best as of now with integrating herself and getting herself in a good position, at least with 4 nominations, which we know it's not her. So clearly she's doing good work. And she's doing a little more than what. See, I originally thought that this would be more like Paloma, like what she was going to do, but it's actually Amira doing that. So now I'm rooting for Amira because, like, literally right before like anything happened, I was like, I'm rooting for Paloma. She's gonna do great, and then I'm totally like eating my words because no, thank you.
We were all rooting for her.
we were rooting. I was rooting for us. Yeah, so yeah, I think she'll do pretty well, but yeah, I she's a good pick, I think, and I have read a couple of my drafts, I believe. So yeah.
All right. So I mean, was Amira your first option, Sabrina? That's the real question.
No. Like, this is literally just because I don't have this person on any of my drafts, and I wanted them. I don't care what things are happening in the house. I want her.
All right, so Sabrina, who are you drafting with the second pick?
I want Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm still gonna root for her. I know right now she is the underdog, but like I think she can turn it around. Like I know she's not really good with the girls right now, but she's got a lot of the guys back behind her who are some power players. So I think they can really help her get out of at least this situation and maybe like propel her forward because she's smart. It's like she knows what she's doing. So like hopefully she can just get around this weird girl group who hates her for some reason.
The obsession behind Miss Taylor is very weird. Just to say, I know one of my friends. She's very public now on Twitter. Her name is Raven. She told me before the season, she's like, "Look, I have a friend who's going in. I gave her all these pointers and stuff. I was like, dope, black lady, you love it." Taylor, it seems like such a great girl, but I feel like there's a whole lot of jealousy stemming towards her just because she's pretty, she has a good personality, the guys like her, so the girls feel threatened, and it's kind of snowballed into this thing where like you're seeing all the girls looking for reasons to target her. They're like, oh, she's not talking to us, we need to target her. Oh, she's talking to us too much, something's going on.
Right.
Oh, she must be a spy for the boys, what's going on? So it's getting a little obsessive, but luckily she's not nominated yet. So I mean, that's hopefully a good sign. I think that she has a good enough personality to get over this. Honestly, I think that she just needs to wake up, because I think one of her faults is that she's not really talking game with people, and it's starting to bother some people. Like, I'm not excusing any of the behavior towards her because it's very out of control, but I do understand the notion of wanting to target someone because they haven't been talking to you, game to you. So hope she wakes up a little bit, but I like her. I still have hope for Taylor. I don't think she's the worst player here, just yet. And I like her. Kate, how you feel about her? Or Josh, go ahead.
I don't know. Like, I just, when we talk about black, I'm just gonna say it. Taylor's a black woman in this house, and with the exception of like Janelle, like, has there been other like white woman that's been excluded, in this sense, or like targeted just for existing? And I can't think of any. If anyone has any examples, shut me up. That's cool, but it is a pattern, And Taylor is definitely probably one of the darker skinned people in the house. And the reality, looking at this cast, I'm looking at it right now, it's not like a true 50%. There's a lot of white passing, people that are in this cast, which will create situations like this. Still, it's not working. So Taylor could also feel alone, just like Terrence feels alone for like the oldest person in the house. As far as Taylor not being able to socialize and talk, I mean, she did get those pointers, and hopefully she take that and go into overdrive, because like going into this house, that's a reality that you're gonna probably be, especially if you're black, you're gonna be one of the only few people that have those features when there's a shit ton of white people in the house. So it's something you gotta prepare for. But you mentioned that she has the mindset to get out of this, but the elements are really different for her because it's Big Brother, everyone's watching you, and maybe in the real world, she would have the mindset to get out of it because she has a support system. She can, have time to herself. But in this house, like, I don't know if she'll be able to. I'm rooting for her, though. Like, I want her to, but, like, just based off of history and some of the past events, I'm just not too sure.
Shout out Kemi, shout out Dominique, etc. But yeah, Candace, however, I almost forgot Candace. But yeah, we've definitely seen this a couple times. A little scary. I mean, I hope that she wins the HOH and completely flips this whole house around. Honestly, I think that's exactly what Homegirl needs. She doesn't. It's crazy. She doesn't even know that all these people are like hating on her. It's kind of wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Isaiah, you said it. I was going to say this cast really reminds me a lot so far of Big Brother 21, and she's getting the Kemi treatment right now, and it's really unfortunate to see because she has done literally nothing but exist, like Josh said. I mean, she's just there. She's trying to get to know people. I feel like she seems very personable, but it feels like even, as you guys were saying, it seems like even the guys are now also on this train of like throwing microaggressions towards Taylor and saying they can't put her up on the block because she's going to freak out and she's going to get loud. What has she done, again, other than exist and be a black woman, that would make you think that, other than like your inherent biases? Obviously, that's where it's coming from. It's very obvious. And it's just unfortunate because we came off such a great season of Big Brother 23, where it's kind of like, we were hoping for this new era. We had more diversity. It would be, hopefully we wouldn't have to deal with this every summer. And unfortunately, here we are back again, right back to square one where we left off. So I'm rooting for Taylor. I reading her bio and listening to her interview, I want to say in the preseason, but in the 24 hours before the season started, I loved everything that she had to say. She says everything that the fans want. That's why all of us going into the season, we're rooting for her and we're like, oh, Taylor's our girl. She's going to give us everything that we need. And then, of course, it's just like she gets in the house and she has just this mountain to climb to even get to a place where she can play the game. So it's just very unfortunate to see.
I'll even throw in, before we leave Taylor, I've seen a lot of Twitter discourse about it, about how the fans want drama, but then we get presented with, drama, and we're just supposed to accept it because it is drama. I've watched a lot of seasons of Big Brother, and I don't consider this to be drama. There's actual game to be played, and, Taylor hasn't done anything or said anything that they're actually using to create drama. All the drama that they're creating in the house is just from their, their perceived, their unconscious biases. There we go. I was getting there, y'all. It's just their biases against Taylor. And
Yeah.
I think that's not drama. That's racism. And a lot of comments on Twitter like, stop talking about race. Don't bring up race. It hasn't. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's
Yeah.
still we're still dealing with this issue. So no, this is not drama. This is racism. And how do you watch that and root for people when they're being racist? Like it's
Right.
just what it is. So that's all I have to say on Taylor before we left.
They're not
I
even calling
agree.
this poor girl by her name. Okay?
Yeah.
They're calling her Pageant. I mean, come on.
That's
How
so
disgusting.
gross. Like
They're not
seriously.
even calling her name.
That's not good. Mm-mm. I'm rooting for Taylor. I hope that she has an upside, man. Because ugly. Okay, Josh, it is your time. It is your time to make your first pick.
All right, give me Miss Porky the pig,
Oh, which one is that?
the cop.
Oh, okay. All right, Josh is picking Nicole.
Paloma.
Oh my
Paloma was
god.
gonna be
Oh my
first
god.
pick, but I was like, I don't think I have Nicole in any of my drafts. So, yeah, I picked Miss Porky. The reason I picked Nicole is she's actually doing pretty well for the first week. She's, kind of being social. She's made herself known. I think she has a good grasp of, how the game should be played. As much as we hate, like Big Brother 16, that seems to be like the angle she's going in. And with the cast like this, I think she could actually probably pull through because there's not a lot of bright heads. That's the thing about 16. 16 didn't have a lot of smart people, bright people. It's given the same thing with this season. Nicole's bright, so I think she can definitely outshine in this cast. So I'm rooting for Nicole. That's my first pick.
So she's been working with Daniel, right? Like that's who her main alliance is.
Daniel says she's the homie, so I think that means that they're working together. That's just what Daniel is saying to everybody. So I don't really know, but yes, I think that they did make a final two.
Okay.
I don't know if it's real, but they did.
Right. Okay.
She's I mean, we haven't seen the comp upside or anything, so it's way too early to call that. But archetype wise, I mean, she's playing like Casey, she's playing like Drew Daniels, the Hayden, well, not really Hayden, but you know what I'm saying, like the nice person that everybody wants to be around. Gets included in all the line structures. I think Nicole is doing a fantastic job so far. And naturally, I would be shocked if she didn't make Jerry at this point. So I'm curious to see how she performs in challenges, because she seems to this is the girl that when she's when she speaks to people, it's it feels very natural. It's not on way too hard. She just seems like she's kind of natural with it, and people like to talk to her as well. So it's just I think that she can do fine. I'm curious. I'm optimistic about her. I would have picked her maybe with my second pick. I'm not too sure on her though. She seems like a wild card right now. It's too early to tell, but that's not a bad pick at all in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it's a good pick. I think she's doing a good job of warming up to people and connecting with them on a more personal level, and so they feel more comfortable with her talking games, which I think is I think with this cast, it seems like they're really slow to kick off the game talk. I think it seems like they watched Big Brother 23 and they saw Frenchie in week 1 and nobody wants to be Frenchie. So I think that they're slow and they're trying to be a little bit more tactical about it, instead of just saying hey, you're HOH, let's talk. But I think Nicole has done a good job of warming up to Daniel as the first HOH. Daniel doesn't necessarily have a power structure around him, so I don't really know how much that's actually going to help her. And I don't know that she's part of the fake level 6, whatever they're making. But I think either way, I think they're going to want to keep her around as an additional number, even if she's not part of the core alliance, if there is a core alliance. So I think she's going to be okay.
All right. Now it's me. I got back-to-back picks. Wow, it's not going to be easy. I'm glad you said that this is a very slow-moving cast. Honestly, there's no real good picks in this cast, in my opinion. I don't know who's going to be good. So for now, I mean, I picked them in my other two. I'm going to pick them this time. I'm going to pick Monty from Delaware. Delaware represent. Delawarean.
The connection.
He doesn't live too far from me, actually. It's interesting. But no, I'm picking Monty. He seems like one of the guys that a lot of the house likes to be around right now. I think he has like this presence that I don't know. He's just like warm. He's a very built guy. I'm sure some people find him attractive. I think that everyone just like he's the he's very he can integrate with the bros. I think he's good with the women. Everybody wants to work with him right now. I know that he was incorporated with like that big alliance I was forming today. So I think this is a comfortable, safe pick. This is my third time drafting him in the last 2 days, and I just feel good about him. My only fear is that he's already starting to get like comparisons to like Xavier, for example. And Xavier just played a very similar game. The only difference is that there's no cookout this time. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but not a lot of people were high on Xavier's game if he did not have the cookout. So I worry for him a little bit, but I'm hoping he can win a challenge or two and demand some respect, get some alliances formed up, and hopefully gain in the power position. Was this a good pick, Josh? Do you think this Monty is a good pick here?
I love his smile. He's so handsome. So absolutely, it was an amazing pick. I haven't seen any of the Xavier comparisons, but like I guess that would make sense. And Xavier's game definitely was the cookout plus like the last like what week and a half, 2 weeks of Big Brother, and most of that wasn't really him making the decisions. So Monty, I don't think is gonna fall into the same trap because there is no cookout. But I do think there could be some hesitation because of the comparisons. So
yeah, it was definitely yesterday. People were like, "Oh, he reminds me of Xavier Lip." I'm like, "That's not good." But I mean, the people still want to work with him, so it's not bothering them yet. So I don't know. I'm hoping out for a fellow Delawarean here to bring one home. You know what I mean?
He would have been my next pick, honestly, because I think he has probably the biggest chance to go really far. I don't know if I necessarily see the Xavier comparisons from like a gameplay standpoint, because again, it's only day 3. We just got nominations. The game really just started yesterday, so I don't know if I see that yet. But when I saw his bio, I was like, well, this guy's going to ruin our season because he's going to make an alliance of the bros. He's the archetype that we all dread, and he's going to have the guys around him. He's strong. And like what's happening is that the guys want to work with him, and they all day today, if you have watched the feeds, there's just been talk of strong men. We can't get rid of the strong men. We got to look out for the strong men. It's so hard being a tall, strong man. Oh my God, we're all so tall and we're so strong and life is so hard. But you know what? No one wants to put him up. And originally Daniel was like, I want to put up Monty, but I'm scared because he'll come for me because he'll probably win veto. And I think that's going to carry him a little, like people are going to be afraid to take the shot at this guy. And I think he's going to be able to build power around that. So I think he's going to take it really far.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like he was also going to be my next pick. And like even Paloma and Alyssa were talking about how they also want to keep the strongmen around to like win competitions for them. And I know that he's included in that main alliance too. So like clearly they're going to keep him for as long as they can. And he's already doing a good job by integrating himself with everybody. So yeah, he's going to do really well, hopefully.
All right. So we'll see if this was the right pick here. And for my second pick, I feel like I should pick one of the plastics. So I'm going to pick Miss Regina George. So I'm going to pick Pamela. Why not?
Pamela?
Paloma?
Paloma. There you go. I don't know how to pronounce her name yet.
Gonna pick Pam.
I'm going to pick Pam.
Let's go Pam.
Isn't it crazy?
She's giving Pam energy.
I'm not used to seeing like one of the younger people in the house usually like have such a commanding presence, but she has a little posse going on of older women, and they're literally who's the 2 girls that are like basically fighting to be her number one. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like Alyssa,
Jasmine,
and Jasmine, right?
Alyssa, yeah. She's good with all the girls except for Taylor, because I think she and Alyssa are really leading the charge on the anti-Taylor stuff.
Yes,
I mean even Taylor even said that she doesn't need, she likes her, which is
poor Taylor has no clue that this is all going on.
Literally,
yeah. Poor Taylor.
So I mean Pam, she's doing it right now. I fear that she's going to be playing a little bit too hard, because every 5 seconds she's on feeds. She's talking game, specifically with Alyssa, but Jasmine, she finds her way into the conversation somehow, and they're gaming like out of everyone in the house. I can definitely say they've been gaming the most out of everyone. They haven't been like people haven't really been on to them from what I believe. Didn't get to watch feeds much of that, but I don't think people are really on to them. So I mean that's good. I'm just curious: is this going to be like El Quattro, or is this going to be like the Ball Smashers? You know, like I don't know what upside this group has. I haven't. It's a girl alliance. They're working together. I'm curious to see how long. I know she just made the all girls alliance, but then her and Alyssa already said we're not going to be loyal to this. We need to work with some guys. I'm curious when is she going to form this alliance with the guys? So I'm optimistic about this pick. I think it's a safe one with the people left on the board because, like I said, I don't really feel too strongly about anyone in this cast yet. But she's at least gaming. She's showing me that she's able to strategize. So there's some upside and a reason to pick her.
Yeah, so I think the thing about Paloma, so today I think she really did kind of formalize this 6-person alliance. So originally it was Pooch. Is this the guy's name? Pooch?
Pooch.
Monty. I don't remember. Oh, Kyle. And then it was Alyssa and Amira were the 6, I believe. And then she just decided, nope, I don't want Pooch anymore. We're taking out Pooch and we're bringing in Michael. And that's interesting because we now know Michael's on the block. And Michael, super fan that he is, did say, she's bringing me in and I might blow this alliance up. So I don't know. I think she's really playing with a house of cards here. It could go one way for her. She could build it up really high and it could stand strong, or it could just tumble around her. And I'm interested to see which way it'll go. She doesn't have a vote. She can't compete in any competitions this week. So I don't know how it's going to go for her. We don't really know what this twist is going to be yet, but she is like able to get votes for safety. I don't think the votes are going her way. I think they're going Brittany's way. So like, we'll see what happens. I saw a lot of discourse today on Twitter about people saying like she's clearly on the bottom. I actually don't agree that she's on the bottom. I think she's probably more closely aligned to the top than toward the bottom. But again, she doesn't have the power. She doesn't have the power to vote. She doesn't have the power to compete. But she's doing what she needs to do in order to get power, which is work with other people. She could just be sitting there doing nothing, but she's not. She's putting in work, but she's messy. So I don't know how long any of this is going to last.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like how she's going to be like when things are not in her favor. Because like right now it's all hunky dory and it's great because like she's got her friends and she's cool and she's she's probably not gonna go home, but I want to see like how it turns out for her. So then if she ever is nominated or something happens,
Right.
It's like she's throwing stuff.
Everyone's like she hates Taylor with the passion.
It's like she's throwing stuff at like the wall.
It's so
ugly. I'm sorry, Sabrina.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm just I'm afraid. I don't know if she's going to get caught up, man. It's a she's playing with thin ice right now, but we'll see how it's going. Do we have any last comments on Paloma here before we move on? All right. So Josh, it is time for your second pick. Who are you picking on Team Josh?
Give me Reba. Give me Shania Twain. Jasmine.
Oh.
Each time I'm like, Isaiah, girl, like it's who else will I be talking about? The accent, she had that country accent. Where's she from?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think she said she's from Mississippi, but now she's in
from
Georgia.
Atlanta.
I have no idea.
She's in Atlanta now, and she's from Mississippi, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like Mississippi.
Mm.
I mean, I picked Jasmine because she, not kind of similar to Paloma, she does kind of have like a presence. I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one. I can't make that out quite yet, but I think the house will like her and keep her around for a little bit. I did see some things. She the one that put her retainer in the kitchen or brushed her teeth in like the kitchen? Is that the one who was doing that?
Ew.
Oh yeah. Was it her?
Yeah, I think so.
I made a guess. I saw the tweet and I was like, look, it only the country girl, because who else would do that? And then of course it was Jasmine. So like it makes sense. She's also taking part in Taylor shaming. Like I've seen her say some stuff too. Like she's not really exciting to watch because of all that going on. And I really do hope, a little bit of a sidetrack, like I hope Jasmine and Paloma will see after the first like backstage vote when Brittany does win, because I think she will, kind of where America is thinking, and then adjust their attitudes, because clearly we're not rooting for the mean girls. So
Yeah. She is literally like the Gretchen Wieners of the plastic surgery. Like, no joke. Like, she was trying to make that blazer skirt combo happen, but it's not going to happen.
Well, I got trashed by that paint. I was like, oh my god, this girl's feather blazer dress is just
It was
destroyed.
already trash.
My husband called it the mullet of business casual.
Yeah, not what I would have chosen personally,
Yeah,
but yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know much about her. Like, I haven't really been watching the feeds a super whole ton right now, but like every time I've watched it, I haven't really seen her around. So I don't really know a whole lot about her game or what she's really trying to do, except for, her just trash talking people. So yeah, I don't have a lot of an opinion.
It really feels like, she did wear pink on Wednesday.
Yeah, Leslie in the chat says she did wear pink on a Wednesday.
It really does feel like that her and Alyssa are fighting to be like the number one for Paloma.
Yes.
Like but it feels like she's losing that battle as well. So I'm just like, pick it up. If there's nothing wrong being a number two. We've seen number twos actually do very well. Like, look at Cody Calafiore, but look at Casey, Mike Boogie. We've seen it before. But you're slacking. You're the number 3 right now. So, I'm gonna need to see something different.
Gotta move
for sure. I haven't even seen her like talk to many guys either. That's not
Right.
That's not good.
Exactly.
Barney the dinosaur.
We have a Jameson.
No.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh my god.
Oh man, you guys are funny. All right,
Chaotic today. Chaotic energy.
Team Sab. Sabrina, who is the second pick after your very loud pick of Taylor at number 1? I mean, at number 2.
Loud. Every time I can't. You know what? I'm gonna go with Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah.
The alternate.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, he's definitely, in the conversations I've seen, he's definitely made some good connections. And clearly he's going to be somewhat of a physical threat too. I mean, it's hard to say because we haven't really seen a competition for him yet, but I don't know. I think he's setting himself up pretty well. I don't know if he's in any like main alliances yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think he is. But I think the guys are kind of looking out for each other. I don't know that it's been like solidified, but I think the big, strong, tall men all have to look out for each other because what's going to happen if one of the big, strong, tall men leaves? So they all have to look out for each other. And he's part of that.
What a step back after seeing last season, them experiment with some different types of sizes, colors, and everything. We got a bunch of huge built guys this season.
Yep.
I know. When we were watching the premiere, I was like, "Is nobody under 6'3"?
Yeah,
like, they're saying that. I was like, everybody is very tall.
Yeah, this is the model season. Now, I mean, Joseph seems so all the guys are like trying to do this bro thing. So I mean, I remember. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I know you've been watching a lot of feeds, Katie. I remember someone saying that like I think it was Daniel. I think he said that he liked Joseph, but he's also not super sure yet. So I'm curious to see how he does. Was he included in the 6-person alliance today or no?
I don't think that he's in the alliance. I think, and you guys keep me honest, I think it's Kyle, I think it's Monty, and I think now it was Pooch. Now it's Michael. That could have changed. It feels like Joseph is like on the outside of a lot of the things that are happening right now, but it also feels like that's going to be fine for him because of what he looks like, and he's just going to be like automatically probably included in a lot of these conversations. Like, we don't want to go for any of the strong guys because the strong guys are scary if they win the veto and come back and come for anybody. So he's going to be safe because of that, I think. And he was in the HOH today talking to Daniel along with Monty for a little while. And that's where like the strong guy thing kept coming from, was that conversation. And Pooch was there too, but like, let's not get it twisted, Pooch. I don't know if I would include you in that. But I think, he's the one that kept saying like strong guy along with Monty. But then when they left, I was waiting to see if Daniel was going to talk to us, and he did. And he was like, I believe them, and they're genuine. And I'm tall and an alpha male too, so we have to stick together. So I think maybe it's an unspoken thing, but I think that they're going to be at least connected through that, whether or not it's solidified.
Right.
Also, quick shout out for if that wasn't proof enough, Katie watches live feed. She's going to be doing live feed coverage over here once a week, so make sure you look out for that. Anyway, but yeah, I think that. Oh, that was the wrong one. I think that.
Up here.
I think he'll be fine for a little bit. But if he goes on like a comp winning spree, I'm afraid for him. I know him and Taylor seem tight, but I mean Taylor's not tight with everyone else. I mean, we'll see how that goes. And I'm just curious to see who he works with. I don't really know. Just like a lot of this cast, I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't know what Joseph's going to do. This is such a wild card season. I know a lot of people are using the Frenchie excuse for like, oh, I don't want to play too hard. Just play like I need someone to like do something because like I'm bored. Okay, there's not a lot of game talk going on. People are too afraid to talk game. Like I'm like, what is this? Okay, give me something. But he seems like a very well balanced character, and I mean we've seen well balanced characters win this game before. So I mean, who knows? Maybe maybe he can show us something, but we'll see. I can see why he was an alternate though. I'm not gonna lie. I can see it. But
while you say that, Isaiah, and before you kick it over to me, this cast in general feels like they couldn't find people that actually wanted to play the game, so they just went out and recruited a bunch of people. That's what it feels like. But like we know people are applying to this game who would play really hard and play really well. So like, how did we pick this group of people?
Seriously, like how does that even work? Like,
I can't even see why Joseph is an alternate. What did he do in casting that made people think that this man would make good TV? He seems like a very nice guy. He said he volunteers a lot for charity, but like, what did he give in casting that we're not seeing? Because I'm not seeing anything.
They also made Claire an alternate when Chrissy was on the cast. I also remember that.
It's just the choices that are made are
Well,
confusing.
one of them was quiet, and the other one was loud. I also don't see how both Michael and Kyle got cast. I would have
They're the
probably
same
just chosen
person.
Kyle can twerk.
Same with Paloma and Alyssa, though. It's like, what are we doing here? Can we get some different types of people on this cast? Like, you don't have to pick the same archetype of all these people that look like each other. And that's why I thought, not to get too deep into this rabbit hole, but the cast on Big Brother Canada and Isaiah, when we drafted, we were all talking about like, this cast looks different. There's a lot of alternative types of people. They're not all fitting into the same type of archetype of like strong men. And look at the season they gave us. Again, whether or not you like the outcome or not, like we got chaos from start to finish. It was a mess and it was really fun to watch. These people all look like they're carbon copies of each other. It's like, what mall did you go to? What pageant did you go to? What modeling agency did you go to? What Instagram influencers page did you click from one follower to another to find these people?
It's just unfortunate, and I mean, you even hear this through people who actually like audition and make it far into the process. A lot of these people DM like casting directors to get far in the game,
right?
So it's like, it's interesting where you look at something like Survivor, where whole lots of ages, colors, sizes. They amazing television because they cast fans of the game. Like every person on there has watched the show at least once fully and have a full understanding of the game. Where Big Brother, it seems like they take social media heavily into consideration. I mean, even if you look at the application, they're asking for you to drop your socials to TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. I'm like, why? Like what happened to the show that gave us like the old lady who's a hairdresser from New Orleans, or
put
like
some respect on Rennie's name, please.
Yeah,
Queen, or like
Queen.
or like the Catholic teacher, or like what happened to doing that? Now we just get like, oh, I'm an influencer.
Yeah, I'm a content creator.
I'm a model. I'm a content
This guy
creator.
Kyle literally is like, I'm unemployed, and I'm not even gonna say he twerks on TikTok because that's not what he's doing. He's literally just convulsing his body, and for some reason people like to watch this. Like I just don't understand it.
Like I mean, I don't even like Big Brother 15, but they brought a pizza boy. Like bring me weird stuff. I don't need the same
weird shit.
I don't need the same thing every single time. I know y'all watching. We don't like it. Fix it. But yeah. Ran over.
Well, I guess I have to pick one of these people, huh?
Yeah, you got two.
After all that,
oh my god, I have two. Oh no. Okay.
It's your last two picks, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
whoever's left over.
True that.
Well, I already know. I think who's gonna be left over. One of the two. I think I know, but okay. I think I'm going to start with. Oh God. Brittany. I'm going to take Brittany as my next pick. I think She's going to win this vote. She's going to be safe. I think that's going to that could be a bad thing, but it could be a good thing for her. We'll see. We don't really know what the twist is. So I think hopefully that will make some of these players that seem like they don't really know what's going on want to work more closely with her if they think America likes her and are voting for her to stay. Could also make her a big threat. We don't really know how these people think yet in this house, but she's already in the Girls Alliance, which we know is not really that strong. But I think Brittany has an opportunity to maybe take some of the outsiders and bring them together. Like if Michael stays, it seems like she's been making inroads with him. I think she could do something here. I feel like she has a good mind for the game. She said that she had a notebook, but then we saw screenshots of the notebook. I feel like it didn't really say anything other than like, be yourself. And I'm like, what? This notebook doesn't make any sense. We'll see. But I think out of everybody here, she's been laying low, but in a good way. It doesn't feel like eyes are on her. It feels like the girls like her, and we might get something decent from her. We'll see. Or she'll be next out. I mean, we really don't know, but
no,
I feel okay about her so far.
Yeah.
It felt like they saw her and they were like, we need a Sarah Beth, a Caitlin Herman, and Nicole Anthony clone, you know, like
Yes.
Yep.
She said Nicole Anthony is her favorite Big Brother player.
Blatant.
Yeah.
It's so blatant, you know. So I mean, coming in, I was interested. I mean, a hypnotist, I was like, in Big Brother, okay, like hypnotize someone, like be a character. But I mean, she's not even really giving that, I'm not gonna lie. So it's like come on. Like like I mean, I need something. She's not really in a power position or anything. She's just kind of there. I don't think anyone's really worried about her. I know that she and Turner, who I'm sure we'll get to soon, formed something originally.
Him, please.
Yeah, her and Turner formed something, but it seemed like Turner is more loyal to Pooch now. So I don't know where her allegiances really lie, but here we are. So that's Brittany.
Yeah, she just seems a little personable to me.
Yeah.
It seems like she's probably pretty easy to get along with. It doesn't seem like she's threatening to anybody in the house. Like these women might perceive. I don't think Taylor is threatening, but these women seem to think that Taylor is threatening for some reason. So I think she might be okay, even if she's like a little bit on the outside of the girls. I think she's still in that somewhat of an inner circle where she'll get information from them. What she does with it, we'll see.
You want to know what she does? Jameson says she already ratted out the Girls Alliance.
And that's what we need to see. Let's do it, Brittany.
No.
Let's go, Brittany. Thank you. That's great.
Usually
That's
I'm
what I wanna
against
see.
like a Girls Alliance being ratted out, but in this
No,
case,
break
In
these
this
girls
case,
up. Break them
amen.
up.
Let's
Break
go.
them up.
And Turner's going to tell Pooch, and it's going to go downhill from there. So we'll see how that goes. Mess. Okay. I can't wait to watch feeds after this. All right. Who is your third pick, Katie? Not a lot of options left, but I mean,
No.
Kyle was drafted last in the Big Brother Canada draft, and he won. So you never know.
Kyle was drafted last in the Big Brother.
Oh, sorry, Kyle.
Kevin.
Kevin.
I was like,
God.
that man did not.
Yeah, Kevin literally last pick, and then became one of the best Big
true.
Brother Canada winners. So
He was done dirty, I think, by his intro package. But okay, who from this crew am I going to pick? Am I going to go with my heart, or am I going to go with my head? My heart says Michael, but there's a really good chance Michael will not be here at the end of this week. I think the same thing about Terrence. I really like Terrence's personality. I think I'm going to go with Indy. Is that her name?
Indy.
Indy.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take her. I think she gets along well with the guys and she gets along well with the girls. And I don't think the girls find her threatening. And I don't think the guys feel like she is as much of a factor where it's like she's going to play really hard. So I think she can make it to jury. We'll see what she does. She's kind of fun to watch on feeds. I don't know. I don't have any opinions on any of these other people. So
I don't know a single thing about Indy. I haven't seen
I really
her on
don't have
feeds
that
at all.
much to say about her, to be completely honest. But she seems like she's getting along with everyone. So that can only mean good things, right?
I mean, I saw her and Kyle flirting. Kyle
Can I
flirting with
unchoose her? Oh, okay. That's not her fault then.
Flirting with her.
That's not her fault then.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. She hasn't really given me much to really have any notes on. This is the only person
She
I
could
can say
skate
that
on
about.
by to jury. Who knows?
Yeah, I honestly think she probably will. Like,
think she probably will too.
She's literally she's chilling.
Yep.
I'm mad. Like what are we doing here?
I mean, we just have like nothing to say about any of these
This is
people.
horrible. This is
You know what's
horrible, man.
wild though, Isaiah? Like we had so much to say about these Big Brother Canada people just by their intro packages, and we've seen 3 days of these people, and we're like,
Yeah.
Like I can
Got
see
nothing.
why there was no promo for this. Like like you guys don't have anything to give.
Exactly.
I would want to wait to post this cast to the last minute as possible as well. So
Me
I'm
too.
starting to understand it.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, they gotta get better, man. Horrible. All right. All right, Sabrina, third pick.
All right.
No pressure, no pressure.
Oh God. I think I'm gonna go with Matt Turner.
All right.
I know.
Mr. Beast editor.
Thank
Turner.
you. So he doesn't get left to me.
I know.
I mean, let's talk about him. Why'd you pick Turner?
I mean, out of everybody who's left, he's probably set up the best, and he's also not Kyle. But like, yeah.
So I mean, he's actually, I can see what he's doing. So like he's working closely with Pooch for his number one. He's telling Pooch everything he finds out. Brittany also has a final 2 deal with this guy, and he's writing out any information that she gives him to Pooch. And I feel like there was one more deal he had, but anything that person picked, I don't think it was Brittany. I forget who it was. Whoever, he has one more deal with someone, he's writing that out to Pooch too. So this guy is Pooch's lapdog. But I don't really think anyone takes Turner too seriously.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. So
and that's kind of why, like, I'm thinking about him maybe going pretty deep into the game, because he's also not one of like the huge like big dudes that are like people are scared of, and he's also not, obviously not one of the girls, so he just is kind of in the middle right now, and I feel like he could go either way. Like he could align with pretty much anybody right now. Like I don't think we'll see him as any sort of threat at the moment, so I think he's also kind of like Indy, just kind of like hanging out in the middle, just like chilling, meeting people. So yeah, I think he could do well, but I also see him being very chaotic in the future. Like I don't know when that's going to happen, but I feel like it's going to happen at some point.
I mean, according to the tweets that leaked when the cast came out, yeah, he has a chaotic past. So I'm expecting a chaotic portion in the game at some point. You know.
Yeah.
So, I don't really have anything else to say other than that. I mean, is there any upside to Turner here, Katie?
I'm gonna tell you guys what I want to say once we're not recording.
Jameson said the irony that Turner is the lapdog to a guy that's literally named Pooch.
Yeah. How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to be, I have a thought in my mind. I'm not going to say it. I will tell you guys after the fact because I just don't want it to be recorded. So we'll talk later about it, but I don't see any true upside to him. I mean, he seems like he's a little more chill than I would expect him to be for now. He's made a decent relationship with Daniel, but like, is Daniel going to be in a position of power to help him out? Is Pooch? I don't know. I also can't, like, the more I hear the word Pooch, the more it just like makes me want to laugh. Like, I just cannot believe that we are referring to a grown-ass man as Pooch. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just, this is a mess. So I think, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I just don't think that he's going to be in any power structure. I don't think the girls are going to play with him. I don't think the guys are going to play with him. I think he's going to be out on his own, and he could very easily be a pawn that goes home in any week. Or he could float on by. I mean, again, anything can happen with these people.
Right.
They're not giving us anything to go by, so anything can happen.
I mean, Katie, we're coming off of Celebrity Big Brother. We had the Mooch. Okay, we had
true. We had the Mooch.
We have Moose.
We have Moose. That's true.
Now we got Pooch.
It's true. It's true. Pooch.
Shout out to Turner's sister though, for trying to get this man canceled.
And then she got herself canceled in the.
Yeah.
She canceled the whole family. This girl.
Oh, man. It made me root for Turner even more.
Yeah,
it made me root for even more.
Oh my
Turner says the N-word, and then now you got all these screenshots of you saying the N-word. I'm like, this is a bad, like,
it's so bad.
Oh man,
I don't know if I believe her personally.
Well, she said that her tweets where because her friend took her phone like 60, she apparently remembers the exact instance that her friend took her phone and tweeted these in 2014, but didn't say hey and then delete them.
No,
So
delete them.
I don't know.
What about Mr. Beast? I mean,
yeah, so this
Turner...
guy like also said some stuff about Mr. Beast, and then Mr. Beast was like, "That's not true." I mean, I don't really know. I don't know who Mr. Beast is. I'm old, so like I don't know who he
one
is.
of the most subscribed YouTubers ever right now.
Yeah, too old for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Turner has a story outside the house. Let's see if Turner can make a story inside the house and get a win. Who knows? That would be the most confusing winner in Big Brother history right here.
Mm-hmm.
Say, look, Sabrina, you possibly have the future winner. All
I
right.
really cannot.
Josh, pick number 3. Josh walked away.
Josh was like, I'm out. I'm not picking any of these people.
Sorry,
I'm done.
Feed my cat because I heard him purring. So
he said random.org right now.
Yeah.
No, my third pick. Give me. Oh, if I had to figure it out, but no, I don't. It's not many. I don't know. Like they're not good picks. Give me Pooch.
Ugh.
All right, you got the Pooch.
We can stop talking about him.
What is this man's real name? Hold on, I don't.
Joseph.
Joe.
Joe. Okay.
Joe.
Okay.
I actually think out of all the white men they cast, Mr. Joe is actually kind of cute. Mainly because like I think he kind of looks different from everyone. I don't know, and he can't take a good photo. His photos are awful.
It's awful. It's an awful picture. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. The eyes are nice. He has nice eyes, but
he does have nice eyes, and the hair.
Had some gray sweatpants on earlier on the feeds. I'm just in case anybody's interested. You can do a flash.
Okay. I have to take a look.
You know.
We got some Pooch fans in here. Okay.
Not me. No, I'm letting the Pooch fans know.
We want to see the Pooch, maybe.
Yeah, if you want to see the Pooch, just flash back and look at the gray sweatpants.
That's why I like you, Katie. Yes, that's my girl. But no, I mean, he seems to be fine. I don't think he's in any immediate danger. I could see him going a little further. Maybe if not last jury member is kind of what it's giving. And I fill the spot somehow. So I'll give it to Joe.
I feel like this is like a blank canvas, right? Where like he reminds me of like Winston and like Matt from BB19. Like I just feel like he's there. But I mean Turner is leaking stuff to Pooch. Pooch was originally supposed to be in the 6-person alliance. Unfortunately, got kicked out. But he doesn't know about it yet. He doesn't know yet, and he knew that the alliance was going to be made. So we'll see how they go. Like, I'm not going to lie, this 6-person alliance is giving Slaughterhouse upside right now. So I'm curious to see when this blows up, because it will. I have no faith in this alliance. But I mean, Pooch was originally supposed to be in it. So I mean, some people see something in him. I think the guys all like Pooch. I hate to have to. I'm going to call him Joe. I'm not calling him Pooch.
Thank you, God. I can't. I cannot hear the word Pooch.
The guys like Joe. So we'll see how if Joe can get to the doghouse. We'll see. But there you go.
That was a reach.
Sick.
We'll see. Okay. I mean, does anyone else have anything else to say about Pooch?
Literally nothing
Joe.
to say about Pooch.
Okay. You guys left me with the bottom of the barrel.
Listen, we're all left at the bottom of the barrel, okay?
I mean, let's be real.
None of us are going to be happy about this.
So who are the nominees again? Is it
Michael and Terrence.
Sheesh. I'm going to pick I have 2 picks. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to pick Daniel here. First HOH. So Daniel won the competition. I think Daniel has relatively good knowledge when it comes to the game. He seems to know the ins and outs. He seems to know what to do, what not to do. My only issue with Daniel's game is like, you got to actually do it. He spoke out loud of like, oh, people need to come to me and make deals and stuff. It's like, it's bad that like we're 3 days in and like you still haven't like spoken to a lot of people. Like you haven't made a solidified alliance yet. Like a lot of people think that being an HOH is like there's not much benefits to the HOH room. I think the HOH room is one of the biggest cheat codes because you can lock the door and literally have a
Yep.
private conversation.
Yep.
You know, so I'm confused why he hasn't made as many deals as he honestly should have. He's wasting his HOH like crazy. So the girls don't feel good about him. I know a lot of the guys do feel good about him, but I think that also plays to the fact that he's just HOH. I said this on Twitter earlier. He reminds me of McCrae if Amanda never got like involved to the point where like the moving company was made. That's going to be this whole guys thing. So, but even with that, there's no solidified alliance. So it's like like I don't know what he's doing. I feel like he's wasting it. And he really needs to step it up because he's wasting his time here. Even these nominations, I know he said it's kind of confusing because he came in saying he didn't want to work with alpha guys. Obviously, he's ended up doing it. I don't mind that actually. I know Katie hates it. I don't mind that. I think it makes sense. But then you put two guys up. It's kind of quizzical, like it's kind of confusing. You're not really doing much good there. So not the best HOH. Hopefully he can turn it around and maybe blindside someone, but I don't even know if he has it in him right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
For me, like whenever I was reading a couple of the interviews and stuff and bios and everything, like he actually had one of my favorite like sets of answers, like for some of the questions. I thought that they were really smart. They weren't like what we wanted to hear. Like I liked what he had to say, but then now he's coming in here as HOH, sitting there like that weird like white furry thing in the chair, being like, "Where's everybody in my deals?" Like, and he's not doing what he said he was going to do, and it makes me so sad. So I'm just like, I'm trying to poke him and like do something. Like, come on. Yeah. He has so much potential. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow Mike Bloom. Oh, sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I was just gonna say someone in the audience, they were like, hate that the pool table is right outside the HOH. And like to that point, like Daniel can't have all the advantages. He can't have the quiet HOH room and not know anyone's up there. So I think it's kind of cool that it's there. To Daniel as the HOH, though, I definitely think he missed an opportunity to really actually back up what he said, because like very few people go on and say like, oh, I'm going to do this, do that, and then get power immediately. And he nominates the gay guy and the black guy. So I'm just kind of like, I don't think he nominated them for those reasons. I think
Oldest house guest too.
Oldest house guest. I think Michael kind of, shot himself in the foot as well. I think he probably could have fought himself out of this, honestly. Yep. But I think it was a wasted HOH.
Amen.
Totally agree. I was gonna say, so Mike Bloom of RHAP, but also does intro and exit press for Parade, posted copy or a screenshot of his interview with Daniel from before the season and highlighted all the things that he said he was going to do and how he's doing the opposite, which is actually pretty hilarious, and said, I'll take BB24 preseason quotes that aged like slop for $750K, Alex. And he said, I don't want to work with the crazy masculine men, not physically big, but the ones that make a point that they're this macho man. I don't vibe with those people. This man was sitting in his HOH today saying, I'm a tall, strong man. Am I an alpha man too? And it's just like, he was around these tall, strong men, and then he's like, wait, I'm a tall, strong man, so I want to work with the tall, strong man. And he also said that his dad, I guess, told him like, I need to sit back and listen instead of going in there and trying to own it, listen and observe. And I just feel like you guys are totally right. He wasted his HOH. He has no alliance coming out of his HOH. In current modern Big Brother, winning the first HOH should set you up moving forward to have a power structure around you, at least for a few weeks. And this guy's leaving with nothing. Alliances are being made. He's not in any of them. People are working around him. It's like he's taking the easy way out when he should be working with people like Michael and Terrence. There's no reason why he shouldn't be working with those two and setting the pace for the game moving forward to say, like, do you think that these strong men are going to keep you around to the end? Why do you think that these men are good for your game other than you being scared to do anything with them? We'll see what happens with his relationship with Nicole, because it seems like they are close. But even Paloma is like, I've got Daniel wrapped around my finger. Like, none of our friends are going up. I've got him wrapped around my finger. It's like they're just playing this guy and he has no clue, but he thinks he's like, well, no one's coming to me to talk game, so whatever, I have a hard choice to make. Then earlier today, he was talking about backdooring Michael. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we? It's like it's giving Frenchie, but not like it's not like to the
Less
level Frenchie
chaotic.
was. Yeah, but he's doing exactly what Frenchie did. It's just in a less chaotic way, saying, "I don't want to work with the masculine men." And here he is. He's a super fan supposedly, but he's not doing anything a super fan would know to do when they come into the game. So, how much of a super fan are you really?
Right.
I don't know. Also, he's an Elvis impersonator, which is like a weird thing.
Well. Oh God, I forgot about that.
It's like we can't not talk about the fact that he's an Elvis impersonator.
I mean, Katie, Frenchie last season said no women, no POC, and did the
And
opposite.
who did he put up?
The exact opposite. So I mean,
Yep.
but Daniel said no masculine men, no alphas. He didn't do it.
And who's he working with? He's working with the masculine men and the alphas, and he put up the old black guy and the young gay guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really
Yeah.
what we're doing. Okay.
So
Frenchie Jr. Just less wild, so people aren't calling attention to it.
So, all right.
Last pick.
God. Oh man, I'm really struggling here. God, I mean, what's their name? Okay. Do I really want two plastics on the same team, man? I don't. Why not? I'm gonna pick Alyssa.
Thank
you know that I didn't really want to pick Alyssa, but I'm not really working with much. Like I think Kyle. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be quiet about that. But I mean, I'm picking Alyssa. She's a part of some sort of foundation. It seems like Alyssa, like I said, wants to be with Pum. How you say her name?
Paloma.
Paloma. Oh my God, Pam.
Pam.
We're just calling her Pam. Wants to work with Pam. I think the battle between her and Jasmine internally that she doesn't even know what's happening to be the number one of Paloma. She's succeeding. So I mean, she's a number two. I personally have a lot of respect for the number two game. So I mean, maybe something can happen from that. But she's not really conversing with a lot of other people. I know her and Paloma want to make alliances with some guys so they can use them in win competitions. I've been waiting for that for 3 days, so I need them to hop on top of that because I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry I keep asking this. Was she included in the 6-person alliance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, there's something, but I also, like I said earlier, don't have a lot of faith in that 6-person alliance. So I don't know. I don't really have much faith in Alyssa or Jasmine. That's why I wouldn't have really picked either one of them. But it was either her or one of the two nominees and a twerker. So like I'm just going with what makes the most sense here. Was this the right pick, Katie or Josh, or was this a bad pick?
Of your options, this was the wrong pick. I would have.
Okay. Okay.
Spoiler, oops. But no, I have absolutely nothing to say about Alyssa.
Yeah, she reminds me of like Annalise. Someone just said she seems like a blind follower. I'm getting that for sure. That's why I'm just.
What does she even do? Like, what's her profession? Like, I don't know anything about.
Let's take a look. She is a service rep marketing agent.
Oh,
Cool. Good for her.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alyssa. Yeah, the only thing I have to say about Alyssa is that she has a crush on Kyle and wants to call herself, and I mean, they were referring to themselves, I don't know if this is their official alliance name, but her and Paloma as like the pumpkin spice lattes and the PSLs, which like, ma'am, please. Are we really doing this? Is this The Bachelor? She feels like this is where she should be on The Bachelor. This is where the show she would fit in. She looks like she would be on the Bachelor. She would fit in perfectly. She could make it to hometowns and fantasy suites and then probably get dumped at the end, maybe have a shot at Bachelorette, and that should be her path in life. I don't think that she's made for Big Brother.
I mean, is this another losing battle? Because it seems like Kyle's into indie right now. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, he said that he's like obsessed with Brazilians, right? He has like a Brazilian fetish. Like he fetishizes Brazilian women, which is...
This is the season that
we're coming out and saying publicly. Okay. It's a choice.
Yeah, what did Travis say last season on TikTok? He said, I'm into big booty Latinas.
Oh, I didn't know that he said that.
Yeah, he said Josh's face. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, so these are the type of people that we're casting Big Brother. Good job. All right.
Wow.
There you go. Anyway, Josh kind of already spoiled his pick. So, I mean, we're
Give me
picking
Megan
Kyle.
Thee Stallion. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. No, Miss Kyle. That's my next pick. I really wanted to pick Terrence, but Terrence will probably be the first boot. So I'm not going to pick Terrence. But Kyle, not really much to say about him either. Generic typecast. We've seen Kyle before in the first 23 seasons of this show. With or without
We've seen him storming the Capitol. We've seen him with the Proud Boys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've seen it all. He's unemployed, and if anyone knows me, like I don't want to work either. But like just the way like they cast the unemployed, character this season, it didn't have to be him. It could have been like, oh, I'm unemployed, but like I volunteer and I, work for, some type of rights. He doesn't stand for anything. He's just kind of there. And I think that was just a wasted spot that Big Brother, gave to Kyle. Yes. So that's my next pick.
Sabrina, is Kyle going to twerk his way to the finish line?
No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Has he twerked in the house yet?
Oh God, I don't want to know.
I don't know.
Is he a good twerker?
No. I wouldn't even call this twerking. He just convulses his body.
Like his intro.
Does he even have an ass?
No.
Okay, what's the point?
Y'all are
obnoxious.
Yeah, sorry, Jameson. You caught us on a...
been here, our MO is we're
in a mood today, okay?
Yeah, we're kind of wild over here. So hopefully we don't scare you off. All right. I mean, I guess that's it for Kyle. Okay. All right.
Well, wait, I don't think that's it. Can we talk about the fact that this man last night on the feeds was talking about how his grandmother asks him about his sex life, and he goes, "She's kind of racist, but it's just she's from a different time." Sir, I just don't even. There's so many things, and I want to end the narrative right now that this is an attractive man, because this is not an attractive man.
No,
this is first of all a boy, and he just looks like a piece of blank paper in front of me. Like what you guys were saying about Pooch, like he's just there and gives me like I said, he gives me Proud Boy energy. Like it feels like we know that he was following a lot of problematic people on Twitter, and production made him delete it. He has pictures with really big guns, and
his legs were still up.
Yeah, his legs are still up. So I mean, we know where he's been. So
Trump.
Yep. So where were you on January 6th? That's just what I want to know. We know you don't have a job, so were you there or not? Just spill it. I want to know.
Mess. All right. Jameson says, I'll say this. Kyle's twerking his way to Pooch's heart.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right. Anyway, so last two picks. You guys get the pick, the cream of the crop here, Sabrina.
Listen, I'm thrilled that I don't have Alyssa or Kyle on my team, so I will take either one of these two happily.
Fair.
I'm just thrilled.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go with Michael, just because I agree. I think Terrence might be first boot, which really sucks because I like him a lot. I think Michael could potentially pull this out if he gets his head into the game. He needs to figure it out, because we had so much hope for this man, like preseason, because obviously he plays orgs, he plays LRGs, like he's a super fan, like an actual super fan. But he comes in and he's just like ghost in the background, like just chilling. Like I don't know what his plan is right now. Like I don't know what his game plan is. I don't get it. I don't.
No, I don't get it either.
I don't. Yeah, I've played in a mini with Michael, actually, called Socially Distant, about 2 years ago. So I've interacted with him before. He voted me
Josh,
out,
how could you have held this from us this long?
I really? I tweeted about it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I missed it.
Yeah, no, Michael's chill. He seems pretty cool. He's definitely deep into the community. He's played quite a few LRGs, like even back in the day. He still continues to play, orgs and, minis in the community. So he definitely has like that knowledge. And what I think is happening with Michael is this could all be a shock. He's actually there. and he has all these plans in his head because he's played so many, versions of, Survivor, Big Brother, name the show, he's probably played it. So I think there's just so much up there at that point to where he needs to pick a plan. I think he will. He knows what he's doing. So I think he'll go through his little catalog of, what he knows, the research he's done into this show, and just, the vault of it all. And I think he'll figure out a plan. But I think it's not a bad pick. It's just he nominated because he was the first pick before day one happened. Michael was flying off these drafts.
Yep.
He was first, second pick. So was Taylor. Now that we've seen it for 3 days, Michael has dropped. He's still beloved by the fans, but as far as his stock is concerned in the game, it's not there.
Right.
At least right now. So,
yeah. I have faith. I just want to start seeing it. Just haven't seen it yet. But hopefully.
No.
We'll
Yeah,
see
it seems
if
like
he
he should
wins
know
again.
what to do. I mean, it seems like he's opened up a little bit more today. It seems like they're inviting him into this 6-person alliance. So hopefully that means he has the votes to stay, and we'll see how it goes for him.
Rip Terrence. So
I know.
that being said, I actually picked him very early in another draft, but it seems like he is our last pick here. Terrence is our last pick. He'll be going to Team Katie. Great guy. I think he's a great personality. I would love to see him stay. But, I don't know if you guys seen the clip that's been circulating on Twitter. He looks so done. He's just he's not really talking to many people.
That clip of him in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It looks like
he
his
just doesn't
soul just
care.
left his body.
For
Yeah.
real. Poor guy.
Yeah. I think he just wants to go home. I don't blame you. This is not the cast for you, Terrence.
They didn't cast it with him in mind.
No.
They didn't.
Yeah.
And I think...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying it's unfortunate because it also seems like he's kind of fallen for the trap of the bros. I haven't really seen him talk to many of the girls. I just don't really know what Terrence's upside is. We've seen this many times. Glenn, we saw Steve. We just see the older guy with no other older people just kind of get circled out and just kind of thrown to the side. Even the guys were maybe when they were making the 6-person lights or something like that, they were maybe we should include Terrence. And they were well, Terrence cool. Terrence is cool. We can look out for him, but we don't need to include him in the group. It's stuff like that. You can't just have one person, huge age gap, so much differences. Marty is an anomaly. That never happened. So for Marty from Big Brother Canada, that's not an example to use for everyone else. So we need more older people, or otherwise don't put them in at all, because otherwise you just get kicked to the curb and you just get first boot and it just sucks for everybody. So sad. I hope Terrence shocks us all and becomes the veto king that we all know is in him. But I don't really know if there's much else to really look forward to for Terrence here.
He just seems done.
Yeah.
He's done. And I feel we talk a lot about race and stuff like that, and actually diversifying these shows. But as somebody who, got to help cast a show last year with my good friend Shane, we put a lot of thought into not just race, but gender, age. And we tried our best to make sure if there's someone in a certain demographic, they're not the only person representing that demographic there. And I know if someone's 41 in the house. Who's the 41-year-old? Is that
Nicole?
Nicole. So Nicole is 41, but she's, still really a millennial. She's very close to that line. So I don't think she's really alone in that regard. But Terrence is alone. Terrence is in a whole different part of his entire life. This man has aged. He has a beautiful wife and has lived. And I personally really like Terrence. He seems fresh. He seems really sweet, a family guy. Just very caring and nurturing. And it's just really sad that you put someone like this in the house and you don't consider how not having someone that is in those same elements as you or the same part of life as you, and it's just all stripped away from him. And you say, well, that's Big Brother, but you look at the 15 other people, they all kind of have someone in their demographics. So even Taylor, she is definitely being targeted right now, but she's surrounded by other women in her age demographic at least, so she has
Right.
some type of advantage there. Terrence is at the biggest disadvantage besides Taylor, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Josh. I feel bad for Terrence. He seems like an amazing guy. Like his personality, even in his intro video, it just shone through. He's a karaoke DJ and I love karaoke. So like that also makes me just like, if that just gives me the sense that he has such a fun and uplifting personality to be able to kind of like lead stuff like that and get people involved and having fun. And, we got to see, like you said, Josh's family, and the way he talks about his wife and his family is just it's like, honestly, it's heartwarming. He seems like a really great guy. It's unfortunate because you put, like you said, one guy who's 49 years old and against these bulked up 27 to 32 year olds or however old they are. And it's like, what are they going to have in common? Nothing. These pageant girls, they're not pageant girls. Taylor's only pageant girl, but I'm saying pageant girls meaning, let's say pumpkin spice lattes, okay? They put them in the house with these pumpkin spice lattes and what is Alyssa going to talk to Terrence about? Nothing. They're not going to be able to relate. And it just feels like Big Brother at this point is checking a box off a list. It's like, okay, one old person, okay, one person that's LGBTQ plus, one person that's this, it's like, that's not enough. You need to be thoughtful about it. We've seen them be thoughtful about it. Not the same them, but they're on Survivor, Isaiah, like you were saying earlier, on Big Brother Canada, they're doing a little bit better. It's like, when are we going to catch up? Put these people who just are on TV to be influencers on a Love Island or something, where it's not it's not the same thing. It's not a strategic game. Put them there where they'll thrive and they'll meet other people that are the same age as them, who look like them, and that's the point of the show. The point of this show, some of the most iconic house guests, whether we like them or not, are the Rennies, are the Jerry. We still talk about these people, and they had a chance because the casting was so different back then. Now, poor Terrence doesn't have a leg to stand on. Even if he stays this week, what's he going to be, the pawn next week? And then the pawn after that if he stays again? It's just he just does not have a shot to bring it to the end, unfortunately. But I'm happy to have him on my team. I think he really is a great guy. Yeah, and I feel bad for him.
Me too.
Even Grace in the chat said he has kids that look like they're the same age as most of these house guys, so it's definitely unfortunate. I just hate that his chance is wasted, because you know how hard it is to get on the show.
Seriously.
It's also sad because he was talking the first night about how he saw the cookout and that made him want to apply because of the representation. And it's then he gets on and he gets there and he's like, if they could do it, I can do it. And then they put him in the house that just is not, unfortunately, catered to somebody like Terrence. And that it really sucks. Maybe if he was on last season with the cookout, he could have gone a lot further and worked really well with them. And it seems like he has a personality. Tiffany is not far off from his age either. She presents a lot younger than she is, but it's sad. It's unfortunate for him. I feel for him.
Sucky.
Yeah, poor Terrence.
Well, it's not going to get any better. They get away with it because they can. We're going to keep watching. The fans every season will cry. We'll do this again at some point. I'm sure we'll out our frustrations, but we're tuning in and we're watching.
Yep.
And
we're talking
that's
about
just
it weekly.
And we're talking about it weekly.
Yep.
This is the same conversation someone had last year, or the year before, I'll say. Because 23 actually, there was way too many white people, I still think. And honestly, too many black people. When you really think about it, there's an imbalance, they didn't think to really mix that up, but it wasn't bad, because for the first time we saw them actually try and diversify the cast, but they gave up. They gave up.
Yeah.
I'm 24. This is awful. This is one of the worst casts I've seen. I'm not excited to watch on Sunday. That's all I'll say.
I'm just confused. I thought CBS as a whole was going to make a lot of changes in casting. Yeah. This is the same cast that we've gotten, just with slightly more diversity sprinkled in. It's not, I just don't understand where they were okay, were they scared about the backlash? I put backlash in quotes from the Facebook fans of the cookout, so they didn't want a similar, I just don't understand how we took so many steps backwards, because it felt like we were taking steps forward. The past two Survivor casts have been incredible, truly incredible. What happened to Big Brother? We had one good cast, and now we're right back to
they're probably
the bottom
scared
of the
of another cookout situation. I don't know, I mean, even outside of the Blackish, like Josh was saying, literally DX and Alyssa were the only.
Where's the Asian representation?
No Asians this season.
Can we get some non-binary people on the cast? Can we get some women who aren't influencers,
It's
like
crazy that
who have different body types. Like, what are we doing? We have Jasmine, but like, what about everybody else?
And it's like the show, it's not the show like the game format fall. I think that they try to blame a lot of this stuff, even like the way the game is started with like oh, you start a big alliance and steamroll, because I mean I'm kind of starting to see that in this season as well. It's like it's not the game per se, because I mean you look at international Big Brother and they don't really have these problems as much, you know. Specifically, like Arissa's done a great job with diversifying her cast and everything. Survivor, ever since they started doing it, hasn't had a problem. Even MTV, shout out MTV, they've been doing
MTV's
diverse
been,
casts. They've been on top of it.
There's a big difference, I think, in everything you just mentioned. TJ Lavin is very, very involved in the challenge. Jeff is very, very involved in Survivor. Arissa Cox, who follows me, shout out to my mutual, yes.
Yes, shout out to her. She follows us too.
Yes, as she should, yes. But you know, she's very involved with Big Brother and with the fans. And then we get to Julie Chen. I have never wanted a replacement more in my life for this show than just get rid of her. First off, her husband, and that's all I'm gonna say. And then two, she doesn't give anything. Like, she's so boring, and she's not involved. Like, she doesn't even know like the twists and stuff. She's like, oh, they haven't told me that yet. I'm like, how do you this is your show. You have been on this show for 22 seasons. And Arissa Cox has only been on her show for like 10 years, and she's executive producer. She's involved. Like, she knows what's going on in the show that she's presenting. There's no excuse for Julie at this point. Replace her. Get rid of her.
Well, here's the thing, and I agree with you, Josh, 100%. And this is not a defense of Julie at all, because why would I ever? But I don't know that that's necessarily Julie's fault. I think that's production and Allison Grodner's fault. Like, they need to bring in new people from the top down, including Julie. But I just don't know that if Julie even wanted to be more involved, that they would allow her to be, you know. And we don't want Julie to be more involved. Like, what's Julie going to add to this? Nothing. It's not going to be good.
No, at this point, she won't add anything to it. Yeah. But I do think maybe 10 years ago, if she got more involved and started saying, hey, you know, like, I'm Asian, and you guys aren't casting people who look like me on this show, but you expect me to present this show every single summer. That's my problem with it. Because, like, you're part of this, Julie. Like, you're a minority. You know, like you're literally one of us, and you're not fighting at all. So
it feels like she only like kind of wakes things up when like it's time to call someone out. Yeah. But I mean, even then, like what 21 she did in the finale, you know, it just got so awkward. Or you know, she did it in 15 and got her snaps, and then just went back to the robotic Christian quotes, sending people Bible. It's a mess, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I think the whole show from top to bottom needs like a refresher, because wow, how many steps back did we take, man? It's just so unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know, but
I think Kevin said it, Isaiah, to us when we spoke to him after Big Brother Canada, and we had asked him. He was very polite about it, but we did say, like, what's the difference? Why is Canada so fun, and why do we get these lackluster U.S. seasons? And he very politely said, Canada and the production team and everyone involved really cares about what they're putting out there. He didn't say the U.S. doesn't, but he was like, that's all I'll say. And it feels to me like they do not care, and they're just feeding us piles of shit because they know we're going to take it. So, like... And we do. And Josh, to your point, we're taking it. We're talking about it. We're going to watch it. We're going to tweet about it. We're not going anywhere. It's like a drug. We can't take it.
If we stop watching, they're going to have to do something. Right. I'm not like trying to start this strike unless I want to. But like, if we stopped watching, like, we very well could. I'm going to stop there because I have other thoughts and comments, but I'll wait till we're off the broadcast for that one.
Oh man, that's a preview of some future podcasts. I feel like we're going to be talking about the show more than like what's actually going on in the show this season over here at Silent Podcast. Not going to lie, I'm scared. This is going to be a long summer, but you know what? We're here.
We're in it together.
Yeah. Just to look at some last second things in the chat. There's a whole lot of things in the chat. But last time, I'll just put James in. I'm a film and TV major. I would be happy to take over Big Brother and get stuff fixed.
Yeah, let's get Jameson in.
Let the Jameson sink in. Yes, baby. Mm-hmm.
I saw Grace said something interesting. I can't find it, but she was saying that CBS should hire us to go find the dirt on the players.
They need to hire, but I mean, just the fact that that's one thing that we really haven't talked about is that they gave us 24 hours.
Yeah.
And already the day that these people came out, people were finding things about their past and all these things. It's like, why are we not doing our due diligence with some of these people? But randos on Twitter can find their whole background. Like they know everything about them.
This happens every season. How come
Every
there always has
season.
to be a grace period where like Twitter finds problematic stuff? Why haven't y'all found that? Y'all figure that out. That's a little weird, don't you think?
It's a little
It's
weird.
very weird.
Yeah,
What's
bad.
weird?
Like that, like we're still relying on Twitter to find problematic things. Like, do they not do like thorough background checks on socials and stuff before they go in? You know, like
I don't think it matters to them.
no.
Yeah, I don't think it matters to them.
Well, and then also think about if people are going to continue talking about your show and also still watching the show, would you really pay attention to how you're casting it? You would change up what you're doing. We've had the same theme. Like this hotel theme it's bullshit. Like there's palm trees still. Like the color scheme's now a lot cute. The only thing that's really cute is the HOH room, I would say. But like it's just lazy. It's just lazy, and they can do it because
we're a Florida a palm tree hotel with a music festival theme at the same time.
It's like being at Disney World. If you've ever been to Disney, like as of late, in the last 10 years, like they don't really do a lot of updates. Now the 50th is around and they're kind of gutting it and stuff, but like they'll throw an overlay on something quick and call it like, the best thing on earth, and they'll eat it up because,
I don't even care about like house reveals anymore. Like it feels like they actually put effort in the house when it's Big Brother Celebrity and actually like change stuff up, move things around. Now it's just like you're just throwing a new shade of paint on the same thing I've seen every year. I'm just like, like I don't care. But we could be sitting here forever, but we ran every week. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that is the draft. I will be attaching it to the tweet or wherever the hell I post this after it's finished. But there you go. So if you're interested and you enjoyed this podcast, we will be here every week. I believe Fridays with the Bounce Checks. This is the Bounce Checks podcast. We're going to be talking after the eviction every single week. You can catch Katie. What day did you decide you're going to stream, Katie?
I think we're going to keep it loose. We're going to do a couple of feed updates a week, short, not like super deep game reveals, but just like give some updates around what's going on in the house. Okay. Have some guests throughout the season, maybe like 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how the season looks. I mean, we're not having a bright future so far, so maybe we'll say once a week, but maybe we'll do twice, or who knows? Things can get crazy. So whenever it makes sense, we'll be on. They'll be short 20, 30 minute updates for you guys. And then you can catch us on Fridays with our panel.
Okay. But there you go. So we hope to see you again next week. So we're going to start closing out real quick. If you haven't already, I said this already at the beginning of the podcast, but if you have not already, please check out all of our social media pages and everything that you see on the screen. Or if you're listening, you can go on twitch.com or YouTube and just search Silent Podcast. You can also go on Twitter and search Silent_Podcast. There's also a link tree where you can find our socials to our Spotify, our Apple Podcasts, or our Deezer, whatever you guys listen to it. We get all of our listener supports from there, so we appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please rate. Only 5 stars. If it's not, don't rate at all. Every little bit helps. We appreciate you guys. So we're going to start closing out real quick. Josh, great job on your first Silent podcast. You did amazing. Where can people find you, and where are you up to?
Yeah, so Poison Me Joshy. That's my Twitter. Hey Little Piss Baby. So if you follow me, you become a piss baby. Love it. And that's where you can find me. That's where I'm usually at. I give you Instagram and stuff. I only do stories there, but yeah, find me there. And thank you for having me, Isaiah. This has been such a cool opportunity. So
okay. Sabrina, where can people find you? What you up to?
So I'm at Sabrizi2492. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Normally lurking on Twitter. It's probably tweeting more now because of Big Brother. And then you can find me also with Isaiah doing the Total Drama Island /Action / all the other seasons podcasts.
There you go. Katie, where can people find you? What you up to?
Okay, so I have a couple of things. So you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at RealSlimKatie. I don't do much on Instagram, so it's probably a wasted follow. But you can follow me on Twitter if you want to see me complain about the big strong men on Big Brother 24. If you would like to see me talk about the challenge, about abortion rights getting taken away from women, you know, all of the good stuff that's going on in the world right now, / sarcasm. So those are all the things I'm talking about. If you don't like those things, then I would suggest you don't follow me. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/RealSlimKatie with an underscore, where I talk about a lot of the same things, but also while I play some video games pretty poorly. So it's a fun time over there. We're cozy and comfortable, and we have a lot of great conversations there. So feel free to drop a follow. It's free to do so. So would appreciate the support.
Sorry,
You can also find me all over the place on Silent Podcasts these days. I am covering the Challenge USA with my co-host Carrie. We're going to be rotating guests throughout the season. We released our first episode. Was that yesterday already or 2 days ago? I don't know. Time, it doesn't exist anymore. But we had Tito on. It was a great time. We were really enjoying the season so far. It has been one episode, but we were very much enjoying it. So check us out there. We also cover all things, Carrie and I, in the Real Housewives universe, and there's a lot happening in the Real Housewives universe to talk about. So you can follow us there at at the Cool Water Show. And Tito and I, maybe Naomi, might be doing some Bachelorette stuff coming up. So keep a lookout. We're going to see how the season goes, and maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't if it's bad. So we'll see. Well, if you find us in your feed next week, take a listen.
Okay.
And here, obviously, Big Brother.
There you go. And lastly, like usual, you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers. You can find me here talking about Marvel with the Marvelous Duo. You can find me talking movies with Mark Levy, the At Movies podcast. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Big Brother every week, so that's always a fun time. And everything else that I guessed on over here, you can find me on RHAP. Now that Big Brother season's here, you'll catch me on an update or two. And lastly, you can find me on the Purple Pants podcast once every month. Me and Bryce Isaiah just made a list, and we added some music from our parents' past. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that one. So take a listen to that. But until next time, we will see you guys. Have a good one. Bye.